Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about my 2026 ecosystem. I have 5 journals that I'm bringing into 2026. So far, I might add more, but these are the journals I'm for sure going to be working in 2026, so let's talk about them. The first one is the largest of the journals. It is actually a scrapbook that I started not very long ago. I decided to start a scrapbook for my daughter. So I'm not actually going to show the spreads in here because this is not for YouTube. This is a memory keeper for her and for me. This one is really important to me. It's very special and I like to document milestones that she has every month. You know, she turned 1 month, 2 month, 3 month. I take pictures, I create spreads for her. I try to make them very simple because I don't want to make the scrapbook so detailed and like too much that I just don't do it. Because I think scrapbooking is a whole other like art, and there are people that are really good scrapbookers. And I just decided that I'm going to make it simple and that it's not for YouTube, it's not for like anyone to judge. It's for her and for me. So, this is the first one that I will be taking into 2026. This cover is kind of beat up. I used this when I was a teacher, so it's just what I had when I decided I was going to do this. I am eventually going to swap this out for a nicer cover, like eventually, but so that's the first one, a scrapbook. The next book, my mother in law gave me, my mom, and she also has one. This is to record things that my daughter says or special memories. So it's similar to the scrapbook in that this is all about her, but this is like writing instead of no pictures. There are no pictures in here. So what I do is I write, the date, the day, and then I'll write something about, what she maybe did, like if she started laughing or let me see. So like this spread, I talked about her first Halloween and then this or not spread, this page, I talked about how I get to stay home because I quit my job and how happy I am to stay home with her. So this is for her and it's and for me to look back on too, but I'm like kind of documenting big things that happen in her life or small things and it's a very special journal. I really like this a lot and I love the cover. Like she picked a good one for me because I like neutrals. And actually, for my daughter's baby shower, bows were the theme. Like it was like black and silver. So this is perfect. But this is another journal that, I'll have for years and will document for my daughter. The next journal is a 1 line a day journal. It's a 5 year journal. I like this a lot. I've had this since 2020. So I'm actually, well, tomorrow's the 31st, so I will be completing this journal tomorrow. But so this is actually my old one. My new one, I'm going to try to flip to a page. My new one is the same brand, but it's a different cover because my mom purchased this exact journal from the exact seller that I got this from 5 years ago. And they completely changed the paper. Like, this is a nice cream. I don't mind this shade of white. Like, it's a maybe not even cream, like off white. And the new paper was like almost brown, but like an orange brown, not even like a craft paper brown. It was very weird. It almost seemed like a they used the wrong paper. It didn't like look right. So, and she told me, she's like, look, you have to look at this for 5 years. So it should be paper that you like. So, yeah, you're right. So I picked out a different one. And what you do is you just write the, the year. And then each day you write, it could be something so small about that day. And then, the next year you can see what you were doing on that exact day. Now, September 29th, I didn't write any of these years. So, and I don't really want to show these pages, so that's why I'm showing this empty one, this blank one. But what I'll do, I'll just write, even if it's just a few words. On one of these pages, I wrote, we're in Croatia because we were on a cruise. And then I can see, 2 years from that day what we were doing on that same day. And I like seeing that because, I didn't have a baby last year, the year before that, so I can see how we celebrated maybe my birthday or New Year's and how different it is now having a baby. I think it's a really cool idea, and I actually inspired a few people in my life to get one this year, so that was kind of cool because I was telling them about my 5-year journal and how I've completed one now. So I will have my new one. I still have the like the packaging it came in. It drives my sister nuts. I never took it off. So I have my new one coming, and I actually need to write in this first page. It's the same size, it's just a different looking cover because the paper in that edition of this book is like white. It's not that weird, like antique looking kind of paper. So I will be starting a new one line a day. It just needs to get here in the mail. And I'll show you guys when it gets here, I'll show you the edition that I got. And there's so many different kinds of brands. That Hobonichi has a cool one. I personally like this very simple, like just a few lines instead of like several lines or having a bigger book. I wanted something really small because I travel with this. I like this size. And yeah, I don't add any pictures in here. It's just pen. The next book is one I really want to complete in 2026. It is a dupe to a Hobonichi Weeks. This is a Kinbor 2026. This is the neutral cover with like gold. It almost looks like fur. And then the foiling's in gold. I really like this cover. I think it's the best one that Kinbor came out with this year, except for the inside cover. I don't like the purple. I'm going to cover that. But this one, how I do my weeks is you write, your week out here, and then or I write my week out here, and then I decorate this side with pictures from that week, or maybe a movie we watched or a book I read. This is a memory keeper for me. And it might seem a little bit repetitive to the 5-year journal, but in that journal, there's no room for pictures. This one is kind of fun, and I can like film videos for this journal, how I decorate it. The other one's not for decorating. So this one's like almost a little bit scrapbooky, but on a much smaller scale than the binder that I showed. I have my 2025 weeks that I only started the end of December, but this is how I use it. I write about my week on the left and then decorate the right side. So this is a fun journal, and my goal is to stay in it for the whole year and to not switch. And I actually made a video of me unboxing this and decorating some spreads in the back if you want to check that out. I love when people work in the week's books, and I love seeing their flip throughs. So I want to stick it out this year, and yeah, very excited to start working in this one. The last journal that I will be working in is a Sequence A6. This is in the graph paper. I've used a Sequence in the past. I've used two that were pocket size, but this is the A6 size, so it's larger. Here I have, this is another Sequence, but I actually cut the cover and made it a hard cover. I'm excited to be in a larger size because I've been in this pocket size for December, and I love this book. I'm actually really attached to it. I'm sad to be finished with this, but I do want to be in something a little bit larger. I like that I have more space on the page and that I can be in this book for months. In a book that I make, I can only bind so many pages. So I think I can only fit about 30 pages in a DIY journal. But this has, I don't know, like 200 pages, I think. So I can stay in this for a long time. I will say the one thing that I do not really like about Sequence, it does not lay flat like a Hobonichi or Astrology would. But I've worked in it in the past, and so I know it's like fine. It might just need a little bit of breaking in, but it does not lay flat. The paper is also very, very white, which I like because that's one reason why I like to make my own journals, because I like white paper. But I am actually trying to kind of, you know, branch out and use paper that's off white like this one. So this journal, which I am going to decorate, this is I call an anything and everything journal. I write whatever I want in here, even if it's not necessarily something that I would care to remember. Like I might just write, I'm having my coffee and it's super good. Or I might write something that is very memorable and like something really fun that we did, or my daughter did this, and I'll add pictures. I'll show you this one. I made these date stickers, and I actually have some that I already made for January. But in this book, I'll add pictures. I like to put pictures of the videos that I've made. I might put a picture of like the video games I'm playing, the music I'm listening to. I might try to make some spreads a little bit more aesthetically pleasing, like this one. But this is just like my brain on paper. There might be days when I don't have like anything important to write, but I just want to write. I just want to write something down. So that's what this journal is. This is still like memory keeping to me. I like to look back at my old journals, but there may not be necessarily anything like interesting in here all the time, but it's a way to just kind of unload my brain. And it's fun. I love having like a small book that I can just throw in my pocket, take everywhere, and try not to put pressure on this book. That's what I strive for with this book. So I just have a bigger size and more pages. I will say the sequence cover, it's like faux leather, and I've had no luck like putting stickers on here. They peel off. I've tried like super gluing patches. So I can't really stick anything on here. I've seen other people do it, but whenever I've tried to put stickers on here, it doesn't work. So I bought an A6 cover. I'm just waiting for it to come in the mail, and I'm going to just put like a picture here, something to kind of decorate it if the A6 cover works, if it fits. But yeah, I've never had luck sticking stuff on a sequence cover. That's why I altered this cover. But if you can see here, each little dash that I marked was a month. So I was in here for 4 months. No, 5 months. So, and this is even larger, so I could be in here for a while. But the like goal for this book is that it doesn't matter what I write, even if I think it's stupid. I can write it down. There's no pressure. That's what I love about this book. I do think that I want to have a small index in this book though, because I would like to have possibly some categories, like if I want to write a prayer, have a color sticker for that, a copied text, and then Oh, and gratitude. So far, I have those three ideas because I have a journal. I don't have it here, but where I stuck a red sticker anytime I thought of something I was grateful for and wrote it down. And I really liked seeing that. So I might bring that dot system into this book. We'll see. I don't want pressure for this book. So if it's going to cause any stress, then I don't want to do it. But I'm really excited to start this in like 2 days. Yay! And I'm really looking forward to decorating this one. So it's a sequence A6. It's very flexible. And I've had two others and they've held up really well. So I know that I like this brand. So this is my lineup for 2026, my ecosystem, a scrapbook, a memory keeping book for my daughter, a weeks, a new 5-year journal, and then my anything and everything journal that will not last me the whole year. I will have to get another one eventually, but this will just kind of always be in my lineup. But this is the plan. Very exciting. Stay tuned for more videos. I am going to do a video of my 2025 ecosystem flip through. I did experiment with a lot of different journals last year, so I'm curious to flip through them. And I'm just hoping that this year I will be a little bit more consistent and stay in a certain size and not be tempted by different types of journals as much as I was last year. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.